I went over the Abracadabra before, and I'm going to be doing another session. We started with the name John Smith, and this time I'm going to go over another chart with the name Betty Wilson, and I'll go over it piece by piece. But before I recommended that you review the videos that I have on both name analysis as well as planets and numbers. And we use all of that information in the Abracadabra. And I drew the other chart in precise detail. I even segmented it. This one is going to be more like a chart that you would write out in front of somebody. And we didn't go through the trouble of segmenting it. I did that for a purpose of teaching. But this is our new chart, and it's on a name called Betty Wilson, but we only use the first 9 letters. So if we look carefully, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're leaving a few letters off. We're leaving the O and the N off because it's comprised of 11 letters, but we're only using 9 of 11. So we start with the B, and it's number 2, and the E is 5, and the T is 20, which is 2. If you add 2 and 0, you get 2. And it has 2 T's, so again a 2, and a Y is a 25-7, because it's the 25th letter of our alphabet. And then we have the 5, which is the W, and the I is a 9, and the L is a 12-3, and the S is a 19-1, and so forth and so on. The 5 is a 23-5. And then what we do is we extended the pyramid in between, or the triangle in between each letter, and we invert it. We went 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 63, and 72 for the ages. And then in the middle, we took down the number 7 over here, because 2 and 5 equals 7. And that would have to do with Neptune, which is people born on the 7th, 16th, or 25th day of any month. And it's also associated with July or Cancer, which is the first house of water, and also February or Aquarius, which we went over in the previous videos. So at the age of 9, the person would go through a large learning cycle, as they would at the age of 18. At about 12 or 13, because we go 9 and 4, or 4.5, so it's 13, 14, they went through a big period of change. And when you have 2 5s, it has to do with a person having excesses, they could get involved with drinking or drugs or too much eating or too much sex, any pleasures of the flesh. And there's a caution to not overdo things. And I put age 13 or 14 because that's in the middle of the 9 and the 18. Then at about 21, 22 years old, whatever, 22, 23, which is 4.5 from 18. They went into a partnership cycle, and basically there could have been 2 partners going, or a choice between 2 people. And they went through a period of changing work or activities with the 4, which is Uranus. And we add up 2, and 2 is 4, and 4 is 8. 8 is January or Capricorns would have affected their life, as well as people born on the 8th, 17th, or 26th day of any month, and also February or Aquarius. February Aquarius affects the Sun, the Moon, and Saturn, those three planets in particular. Now, when we ended up at 1314, which we put here, and it adds up to 5 and 5 is 10, that's the Sun. So that's the first house of the Sun, which is either a Leo or a February Aquarius, which I explained before, and people born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or 20th day of any month. So with a lot of these events, we're coming up with possible signs, initials, whatever, of people that are involved in these changes. Now, when we take the 27th year of life, they go through a big change in a work or an activity, and because the 46th, there's a tendency to see people from their past. And we have the 8, which is a realignment of finances in their life going on. So, and when we add up the 4 and the 6s, that's 10, that's 18. So that relates to Aries or Scorpios involved in these changes. And also with the 46, they straighten out money and paper matters. And the 2 4s, because this one affects this one, there's documents or papers involved as well during this period. So when we add up the 10 and the 8, that's 18. That's people born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th, and that would be affected by either Aries or Scorpio. And then in the 31st, 32nd year, which I put right here, they again went into a partnership cycle, and they would have 2 jobs or 2 activities going. Possibly another child could be born to the family. And when you have a 43, somebody feels responsible or obligated and really tied down or limited. And if we go back to our study of name analysis, when you have 2 letters of the same, it means that people or partners would go in and out of their life, because the T equals 22, and they could have had either long engagements or long-standing plans, and they could have gone through some kind of separation around 22, 23. 22 is mistakes or problems, and also separations. So I'm trying to give you the feel of how to analyze these things. Now, at 36 years old, they go through an ending cycle, and they go through a learning period, but feeling good about things, because the 9-7 means peace of mind, and a 7-4 is somebody they meet through a money or work situation, or a friend or a love situation, and they have the 47s. It's through work or activities, a relationship, and they go through a big ending period in their life at about 36 years old. Now, when you look at those figures, you look at 9, 10, 16, 20, 27, you're talking about 27-9, which again is Mars when you add up to 9, and that's Aries or Scorpios would be affecting their life in that period. But I'm going to go back and we're going to start the video with the next segment of this training here.